Welcome back to the School of Impact podcast. Today we have a really timely episode. Timely for a reason, right? It's, we're here entering into 2022, and I'm going to be giving you the key exercises that you can implement to grow your coaching business in 2022 and beyond. And so what happens is, in the reason I'm doing this episode is because I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, to a lot of online coaches, fitness coaches, health coaches, relationship coaches, mindset coaches, spiritual coaches, all kinds of coaches. And a lot of people are focused on like their, putting out better content or trying to create more value and maybe niching down. And these are all things that you can obviously do in your business, but it's actually a backwards way of doing things when you're trying to grow your business. So what we're going to be going over today, just for clarity, is growing your business from a client acquisition standpoint. We're not going to really talk about scaling or anything in today's episode. This will be more for those of you that are in that growth phase where you're really trying to grow a steady base of clients to actually get to 10, 20, 30 plus $1,000 months. So if that's you and you're in that range right now, then this will be a very valuable episode for you. And it's not to say that, before we move on, it's not to say that, focusing on putting out better content or providing more value isn't something that you should do. But what I see is so many coaches don't yet have like the foundational client acquisition skills down. And so they're putting this focus into something that's like, it's kind of like polishing a turd, right? It's like, it's a turd. And this might, make some people, this might trigger some people, but I see so many freaking coaches that have like a lot of talent and they're really good at what they do, but they're still they've been trying to niche down for like a freaking year. And it's like, a lot of coaches start to overthink these things, right? I think it's just as business owners where they're, focusing on trying to put out better and better and better content. It's like, nobody wants more free information, dude. There's something else that's there. And that's why I called it backwards, because it's like you're doing things like at the other end of the spectrum when you should be starting somewhere differently. And that's what we're going to be going over today. And I know at this time of year as well, and if this is you, dude, it's just whatever. Like you're going to have to which by the way, if you haven't yet seen, we did a goal setting podcast I did with Alex Garzaro. Phenomenal. So if you haven't yet listened or watched that podcast, make sure to go do so. Because what happens is we come to the end of a year, right? And either you didn't have a lot of growth, and you want some, or you had a lot of freaking growth and you're ready to crush this next year. And that's what we all want as entrepreneurs. Or you spend all year learning skills, but not really seeing many clients come in, which kind of sucks because there's always got to be a little bit of both in your business, right? You should be spending some time learning skills, but you should also be spending a lot of time implementing and actually growing, right? You can't just do one or the other, or you're going to have a hard time growing a business, right? You're going to be stuck at a 9-to-5 job. You're going to be doing all these other things versus actually spending that time growing your business. And obviously this time of year is when a lot of coaches are freaking burned out and they're wanting to take a break, when it's actually one of the best times of year to be preparing for January, especially if you're in really any coaching business for the most part, whether it's health and fitness, especially health and fitness, but even other coaching, January, listen, here's a fact for you. November, December, and January are some of the, I think they are the three biggest sales revenue months in the coaching space, right? Because there's Black Friday, there's holiday stuff, and then there's January where everybody wants to start over, so you shouldn't be putting your foot on the brake too much. Obviously you want to enjoy the holidays, but this is a great time of year for you to be really doubling down. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and dive into today's episode. And before we do, I just wanted to give a quick reminder. So if you're finding value in this episode, or if you find value in this episode, or any of the episodes you've ever listened to, what I would ask of you to do this is what I'm going. It comes with a price. The price is that you go and subscribe to wherever you listen to this. Okay, we're on, all the podcasts, mainly iTunes, but we're on Stitcher, Spotify. We got our video podcast on YouTube. Go hit subscribe wherever you listen to these episodes on, and leave that rating and review to let me know what you thought about the podcast. I would appreciate that, and that is what I am asking you to pay. All right, so let's go ahead and dive on in. And so the key exercises are going to root around one big idea, and that big idea is putting in this, or really grasping the skills of communicating your message. Grasping the skills of communicating your message. You see, and I'm going to give you some exercises that you could do underneath that. But as I alluded to before, I've talked with, the past couple months, 50, 60, maybe more coaches in various spaces, mainly the health and fitness space, but even others. And most coaches that are doing this, you're either trying to get clients through organic marketing, paid advertising, or maybe a mix of both, or you're doing speaking events, you're doing podcast interviews and live stream collabs and stuff like that, right? But where a lot of the mindset goes is, so in order to get more clients, I have to put out better and better content, or I have to give more free value or whatever. And that can't be farther from the truth, because the key is, a lot of times, here's how I want you to look at this. Imagine a sales pipeline, right? We all know what a sales pipeline looks like. And at the end of the pipeline is a new client. Before that, typically you're going to have somebody on a sales conversation, like on a Zoom call or a phone call, or maybe you're doing sell by chat, whatever. Before that, there's some kind of nurturing process, either an email campaign or a messenger, DM conversation happening. You know what I mean? Before that is you're putting out content or a lead magnet or something, right? But there's this nice pipeline. And so it's if you're not getting enough calls booked, you have to go a step back and start improving whatever that part of the process is, right? And if you're not closing enough calls, the step that you have to put more focus into. And so what a lot of coaches are doing is they're putting their focus into trying to create better and better content and put more free value out, when that's actually the last thing that you should be doing. You should be going a step before that and focusing on how you communicate your message to do three different things. I was going to say two, but three different things. Thing number one is to actually create a real connection. How do you communicate your message? And I'm going to give you some exercises that you could do in your business, but how do you communicate your message in a way that's going to actually connect with your ideal clients? How do you communicate your message? The second thing here is, how do you do it in a way that's going to keep their attention? You see what I'm saying? The third thing here is, how do you communicate your message in a way that converts? And so if you're falling short of there, you doing better content or putting out more content is not going to actually help, right? You may get some likes, you may get some engagement, but if you're not communicating your message in a way that connects, captivates, or converts, it's you're going to fall short with your content, right? And so communicating your message is so key, because you can use it for your live videos, you can use it for written content, you can use it for email marketing, you can use it for podcasting, you can use it for anything that you do. It's just, the better you get at communicating your message, ideally the better your content will be, or the more clients your content will pull, the more your advertising will pull, the more your emails will pull. You get the point, right? And so what are some of the key skills that you have to learn? What are some of the key skills you have to learn? The first one is going to be the skill of first sharpening your message. This is the first thing that we do when somebody comes into the in-demand coaching world, our program now, which, by the way, is now called the In-Demand Coach, because we help coaches become in demand in their marketplace, and you'll be able to get 10 plus clients a month when they optimize our systems and processes. The first thing you have to do is sharpen your message. Basically what that means is, we all have a message, right? You have a message right now. Even if you're do I? Yeah, you do. We all have a message, but a lot of times it's very commodity. And And it's not really helping to pull clients. Like, it's not cutting through all the noise. It's really just adding to the noise in the industry, on social media, but it's not cutting through. We teach a whole process on how to actually do this, which I'm not going to go into depth with it today, but just know that, like, that's one of the skills is sharpening your message. And then, like, the real skill set behind that is how you communicate that in the marketplace, right? How do you communicate that in the marketplace? When I first really learned this, it was in my gym business when I really, like, got this concept. In the gym world, it's not as important, depending on where you live, I guess. And then I translated this into my online business, and then I'm still doing this exact same thing in this business, and it really helps, bring you in your perfect ideal clients and helps you repel people that aren't going to be a great fit. But I remember, like, in my gym business where I first got this concept, and, I'm giving this so you can have this, like, context here, is, I was like, I want to be different than everybody else. And so I created an outdoor gym, not like a boot camp, not anything like that, right? But a literal outdoor gym, one of its kind, at least in South Florida. And in that gym, I still wanted to be different. I didn't want it to seem boot camp-ish, right? So it's like I created, like, a system, a process, if you will. So when somebody came out to our gym, there was a very specific process to where when they entered our gym, what would happen all the way through the end. So it created an experience for them. And then we ended up trademarking, or we registered our process. And it was very unique. And so when marketing that, people wanted to come to our gym to lose weight, to get healthier. And we helped them by our process, right? We had a very unique process, very unique environment. Well, you see what I'm saying? So in the online space, I did the exact same thing. So you want to think right now when it comes to communicating your message, like, if your ideal client has a problem, whether they're trying to lose weight, build muscle, get a better relationship, right? What they want, that transformation to happen. They're in this problem. They want the transformation. Your ability to communicate your unique vehicle is what I call it. That is what it is ultimately going to get you clients. Okay? Does this make sense? And so that's the first skill that you need. The second skill now comes your diversity in your topics. So now we have to have a way to communicate your message. Okay? Now that you know, like, how you're going to say it, it's like you've got to put it in content. And so some of these things are, and the reason why I say diversity in topics is because a lot of coaches lean too much into, like, teaching, right? Just they're teaching all the time, and that, quite frankly, that will kill your sales, because nobody needs more information. They need inspiration, and they need connection, and they need to help you move them forward. That's what they need from you. And so your topics have to be this is what I teach people, and it works really, really well, is you have some connection topics. You have some what I call influence topics, where you're addressing mistakes, objections, and beliefs. Then you have some results, because obviously people want to know that you know what you're doing. And if you can't get people results, and quite frankly, nobody's going to really trust that you can get them results, And then 4, you can add some teaching in. So those are, like, 4 different topics that you can. It's a skill set to know how you're going to communicate in each one of those things, and they take time, all right? But it's all in communicating your message. And then the third is the actual, what I call, like, the some of them are micro and macro. Those are, like, more macro skills. Then there's, like, the micro skills of communication and client acquisition. You might want to write these down. The first one's going to be, how do you entice and hook people in? The skill set here is going to be like headlines. The skill set's going to be how you communicate on a video, right? Or in the first couple lines of your written post, right? Another skill can be storytelling. This is a fundamental skill, especially in 2022, where there's so much noise, for you to be able to convey a good story with the topic that you're teaching on. There is the skill of CTAs. Like, how do you drop CTAs and get more and more comments going? You know what I mean? It's really, really important. A skill of influence. What influence ultimately means in this sense is, how do you help break a belief, Maybe your ideal client has this objection or they're doing things the wrong way. How do you help break their belief and install a new one? That essentially is what I'm referring to as influence here. It's a skill that has to be developed. Number 5, like launching. How do you launch an actual offer or promotion? Like, you've got to know how to do these things. It's a skill. That's actually probably more of a macro skill than a micro, but nonetheless. And then another one could be making offers. I separate this from CTAs because making an offer versus just doing a call to action is a little different. Like, it's a skill set that has to be developed, right? And so those are some of the fundamental things. And I encourage you to write these down. Literally, we teach these to our students. We have a 6-step process inside of the In-Demand Coach program. So where literally walk people through sharpening your message, the diversity of topics, the hook, story, helping align beliefs, CTAs, launching, all of that stuff. But ideally, when you learn these skills, like an average student for us will get anywhere between 8 to 12 clients a month. And this is extra. They may already be, some coaches come to us already like having clients. And so these are just, 8 to 12 extra clients a month when they implement these, because we teach the skill sets in our program, right? And so you can like write these down and go do them on your own. And but these are the skills these are like fundamental principles. Like, this won't change no matter what you're doing for marketing. So these are absolutely very vital for you to get down. And if you would like actually some step-by-step help, we have a step-by-step A to Z process that shows you how to do this. And we give you the coaching and the guidance and the personalized support along the way. If you would like help in doing that, just shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram if you're on Instagram, and just say the word, I'm ready. And we'll connect and see if the in-demand coach is right for you, and help you get some of these skills in your business. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do a quick recap. Is just the key exercises to growing your business isn't just about trying to get better and better content or put out more and more free value, right? Or niching down more. All of those things can be important, but not when you haven't yet sharpened your messaging and know how to communicate it in a way, because the key concept here is the skill of communicating your message. So the first exercise for you to do is to sharpen your message. The second one is to create diversity in your topics, right? List out all of those 4 topics. We talked about connection, influence, results, and then teaching. Make sure you have diversity in all 4. And then acquiring the skills of communication, the micro skills, and client acquisition skills, right? And we talked about, you could put these as like A, B, C, D, E. The hooks, which is headlines and, that first few lines or first 7 seconds of your video. Storytelling, CTAs, influence, which is just basically shifting people's beliefs, launching, and making offers. If you can land those skills in your business and you practice these exercises, they're exercises, right? You got to do them continually. I can tell you right now that you will have a very successful 2022 when it comes to acquiring more clients. Anyways, y'all, hope you found this valuable. If you're listening to this on Facebook, or Facebook is where I'm on right now for the live stream, then let me know what your number 1 takeaway was. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'd love you to shoot me a message and let me know what your number 1 takeaway was as well. Because again, it's not about getting more information. Nobody needs more information. What we need is more inspiration, connection, and implementation. So get out there. Let's have a freaking amazing into this year, beginning of 2022. And just remember, like, your message matters now more than ever has before. There's so much fear, negativity, and scarcity being spread on social media. And it is up to you to spread your passion, which is your message, to the world. All right? Get out there. As always, have faith, stay focused, and take aligned action.